Disciplined stoners. What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot.
This plant just helped me chill out. Found focus. Found confidence. All of a sudden I was productive. Less protective. More progressive. Yeah, we talk about stuff like I'm a next sommelier. But this is about a medicine, baby. We wish everyone a mindful life. It's been a helpful tool for us. And whatever the route to peace, it's each individual's journey. And the more we communicate, maybe we can all help each other out. Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host Ellevan.
And my name is Winny.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness.
And welcome back to another episode of Disciplined Stoners.
I'm your host Ellevan.
My name is Winny.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And today, we haven't been just us in a minuto.
I know, it's nice to be back here with you.
It's nice to be back here with you.
Hey, if you've really loved the last guests and our new studio space for our guest, smash that like button.
Smash that like button and share this with a friend if you enjoy this.
We are learning more. There's a bunch of YouTube channels about like how to grow your YouTube channel. And one of the things that stuck with me is you can't ask people to subscribe. You have to make it sound cool, like smash that subscribe button.
Super cool version of doing the thing that would be helpful. You can be helpful and super cool at the same time.
Oh.
How is your life?
How is my life? Well, most of the day I've been crying, Ellevan.
That's so nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, it's been kind of rough. I don't even know. Like, I just don't know what I'm doing, everyone. So if you feel like you don't know what you're doing either, it's okay. We go through moments where we just don't know. I don't know if it's like existential, like what are we all doing here, or if it's more specific to like, did I completely fuck up my life?
Nah. I talked to Alicia today, my high performance coach, and she was like, yeah, there's just a lot of cosmic energy right now, and you got to surrender. Like, it's very overwhelming. Like, a lot of people are feeling that, myself included. And there's a lot of moving parts, and there's things that you can't anticipate, and just all the XYZs. And the more you try to talk yourself out of feeling and reacting, the more you feel like you want to. Like, yeah.
There's just so much for me. Like, there's just so much resistance. Like, I don't know.
What's with the resistance?
I think the last time, one of the last episodes, I was like, I don't say I have depression anymore. And then like this whole week, I was like,
crippling
I've
depression.
been a slug, like paralyzing. Like, I haven't experienced like paralysis in a minute. And honestly, that's what's been going on. Uninspired. Like, and it just feels like it's going to last forever, I think, sometimes.
While you're in it.
While you're in it, you're like, well, I guess, like, this is my new state of being. And, you know, I started saying affirmations. What's really, we've talked about this before, but, like, for me, I need to get on board emotionally with what I'm asking of myself. So like I can't just be like, you often jump directly to gratitude, which I think is very impressive if I'm being totally honest. But like,
who, me?
Yeah. Like when you're in like a state, you'll be like, I am grateful for, and that just like when I'm not feeling it, I don't say those things because again, it feels patronizing. It feels like I'm punishing myself for how I am actually feeling.
Because you don't believe it.
Yeah, because I don't believe it. And so I don't know.
What do you mean punishing yourself? Like condemning the state?
Condemning the state, yeah. Like I
apologized
apologized a couple times today to you because I'm like, I was a fucking slug. Like I brought no value to anything. Like I don't, like how am I still like contemplating my self-worth?
Yeah.
how am I still doing that? I've done so much work around confidence and like, and that, and I've created boundaries in my life that have felt really good. And I meditate and I connect with my source, and I do those things even when I'm not feeling good. And I just like don't understand. We did mushrooms a couple days ago, and I was like, that's what came up is like, I don't understand why I don't feel worthy.
Weird. Yeah, because everyone else feels like you're worthy, and it's just how you position yourself. I mean, that's been the whole, if I may be frank on the show, that's been the whole journey for you, is like create that confidence and momentum. It's like you've always kind of looked for a leader. It's like the system broke you. How much of that do you think is from being a girl growing up as a female? Or am I totally off? Or what it feels like to me is when you go into, we're just going to call it depression, that like your vibration drops and you just don't have it and you're not with it, may also be a dangerous, edgy man and say it has been nature's time with you.
Yeah, like
over
we
the
can
past couple
we
days,
can talk
like,
about how like my emotions generally fluctuate during my period. Just the last couple of like this round and last month.
But it's funny how you're always surprised.
No, I feel like though it started last month and it's been getting better throughout the year. But last month was a hard one, my period. And I said this to someone today. I was like, I've been kind of a mess since my last period. And then you get another period and you're like, well, fuck. Like,
yeah. And it's like, you're so hard on yourself because you're like, I'm good for nothing because I didn't do anything that much today. It's like, relax, like, you're fine. Like, you deserve to take as much time off as you want. Like, we need to be kinder with ourselves and others. I got to work on not attacking others for not being as fast as me or wanted as much as me.
Because you're like Roadrunner.
And I get shit done quick. And you know, partners that I have, I think, find it very difficult to keep up pace, like business partners or whatever. Like, because unless you're locked in as like my support, like my drummer or producer or something, who's like, yeah, like I'm fucking with Ellevan, let's mob out, you know, like let's move. If you're trying to create your own momentum next to me, it's like, oh fuck, I steamroll you. Like, and I'm like, a part of me, like that's the performer in me, that's the winner in me, but like, I've caught myself over the past couple of weeks being unkind, maybe, to partners in capacity, or just like not unkind in the way where I'm like, you fucking piece of shit, but I'm overlooking the opportunity to be more gentle and understanding because that is an intention of mine. And I am sharp and I am neurodiverse, and we're exploring accepting the fact that I mean, most definitely on the autistic scale, we all are, but maybe a little bit higher on it than we thought. And kind of like discussing that up front. But then I don't get down with the patriotic obligation of this whole new mental health society kind of movement that's like, oh, like if I say I'm not mentally well, it like excuses on my behavior and I don't have to work on it and I don't have to communicate about it. It's like, no, by confessing that you're going through depression or neurodiverse or your feelings aren't currently in alignment or whatever the case may be, or you're going through a mental transition period where your perspective is changing, so you're accepting these new things and these new pieces of yourself, you gotta let it all crash first. You don't state that so you can go on living shitty. You state that so you can fucking be accountable. Like, those people can now be more fluid in their communication with you and understanding. You can be more accountable in your own way with the right settings. Like, I
think even though, like, devil's advocate here, even if like it's the first step, like you're working on this, like awareness versus implementation, right?
I'm writing
like,
a book. That's my next book. Yeah.
I really wanted to do this meeting. I had a meeting today.
Great online performance opportunity kind of thing.
Yeah, been a couple months like coming, and it's just like taken me a little while to to work on it. And like an hour before, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it all morning. I was like, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it.
And like,
and sometimes you
just
can just do
resist,
it.
though,
But like, yeah, today I took a nap and then I got up and I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I walked outside and I came back inside. I was like, I can't do it.
What does it look like to take responsibility for the resistance that you're placing in your own pathway?
Like, I don't even know if I'm in a mental state to like, you can ask me all the questions that you want, but like, I don't know if this is my teachable moment or learnable moment, you know, like I don't know. Like I sent the email and in the email, my capacity today was, I can't make it to our meeting that we discussed like weeks ago in 1 hour. I'm giving you 1 hour notice. I'm having a mental breakdown. Like, that's all I could say. Like, I couldn't come up with anything. I couldn't come up with anything clever. I was like, I'm having a mental breakdown.
I was honest too. I dipped on something.
I'm really sorry, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I hope that we can reschedule. And they were totally cool. But like, after that, it's not like I went and journaled for 4 hours until I was back in alignment. I like sat and watched a sad movie and literally cried. Not a sad movie, it's actually a happy movie.
No, but that's what you needed to do. That's what I'm saying. Like, once you accept that you're having a mental breakdown, it's sending those emails, communicating in that way. And if you ask me, that's being kinder to others, communicating and flushing that out. I got to watch myself reacting to people disappointing me, you know, like that's like, I thought it was going to move this way, but it's moving that way.
What happens in your body when you're disappointed?
Probably a lot of flashback from having to fend for myself in many capacities, and a lot of resentment and dominance to want to crush you, like crush whoever that is. This is like, it could be one partner for the current show today, but it was a band member 7 years ago, and it was someone else 4 years ago, and it was a collaborator 2 years ago, and it keeps changing.
So
like,
I'm aware. Heartbreak.
All my heartbreak I place into this little vulnerable thing where I give people the opportunity to not deliver for me, and then, you know, I remove myself or I remove them, like, from what's going on. But honestly, that does need to happen. Like, we're listening to that Wayne Dyer thing, and he was like, you know, that father that left you when you were a kid, it made way for your own resilience. Like, it you know, the opportunities that come from the negative space, from that thing being removed or whatever perceivable challenge you're getting, it's like it is the universe clearing a path. And it's hard to remember that. It's like all the shit we preach on here, you would never know that she was the same person this morning and yesterday. You're just like, I have no tools. Like, I'm broken now. Like, and it's just like, fuck, I guess you're broken now. And that's where you think, like, this will never come back. Even me, I don't talk about, like, physical health stuff, but, like, a little tightness in my chest. And, like, it's hard to think this will pass. It will pass. Like, it will pass. It cannot last like this forever. Like, it will pass. You'll either go away or, you know, whatever. But either way, you're going to meet it with some form of action. And hopefully it's not a reaction. Hopefully it's a response. But it's hard to mentally calibrate a response if you don't, like, think you know what the fuck you're doing. So I called a friend today. That was really good. I was having a tough day because, yeah, vibes, slug is the right word.
That's
smart. I don't often do that, but we need to reach out to each other more.
And I was going to say brave.
Yeah. And I called a man friend, like Stefan, my DJ. We're handsome men. We're fucking out here, you know, working. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we're, you know, killing it. But it's like, I was just like, bro, I don't know. Like, you know, it's like, I need a chat. I'll call Matt up. I'll call Humble up. I'll call Jag up. I'll call a couple buds and just, like, check, like, how are you feeling? Like, is it just me? Like, or, because I often, I'm a mystic in the way that I'm like, it's probably the planets. Like, you know, but then Stefan says it's a geometric, you know, pressure differential. And they're like, oh, cool. Like, so whether we explain it through science or spirit, something is shifting or going on right now. And so I like to kind of harmonize and see, are you having a similar kind of experience. So that was helpful. That was really helpful.
Yeah, and I recognize that that's helpful. I contemplated calling 2 separate friends today, and I really felt like, same as you, like both of those friends would want to find a solution for me, and I wasn't in a position to find a solution. Like,
well, you're not willing. Like, you're like
I started saying I am open to feeling better, and I think that's, the start of climbing up out of the deep, dense darkness. But I still, like, I couldn't, there was nothing in me that could handle, like, just focus on all of the things you have and all of the things you're grateful for. Like,
so you couldn't hear it.
I couldn't.
So that's like, sometimes we're talking with all our floofing. It's really nice for thank you. It's very brave for you to share your experience, because I think sometimes on all our great moments where we're really in alignment and we're saying just like it's easy. Like sometimes it's even hard to hear Abraham, even though actually after a while Abraham really unpacks it in a perfect, beautiful way.
Always.
Abraham Hicks. But just like right away when it's like you're in control of your emotions, you're in control of your reality. And it's like, okay, don't feel like it though.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm out of control, actually. I feel like I've been trying to be in control.
Yeah, but
and I've been choking.
Here's the big word. Ready? Here's the big word. Maybe this is going to be the title. Surrender. You got to surrender. And that's like that beautiful Latin lady, Victoria, told me yesterday, the devil lied to you. The devil lied to us. You can't do it. You can't do it. Ooh, I got a little guzzle. Mm-hmm. You can't do it. You can't control it. This is fucking lies, bro. The devil lied to me and I took his fucking bait. He said I was in control. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm using that figuratively. Sounds a little religious more so than we usually do. But, like, let's just use that imagery for a minute of, like, yeah, all of these parts of me that wanted to be in control of all this through these 10 fingies, that's a lie, bro. Like, you're not making this happen. You're in harmony with the frequency, and manifestations are en route. And you can take, I think free will is the choices that we make, like essentially the fork in the road. Mm-hmm. Like, I think, and the conversation I had with Future Magic Stefan today was, he doesn't believe in free will because of the predetermination of his, I guess his cousins, his aunts, 2 kids are like severely mentally ill. They can't talk. And he's like, how the fuck do they have free will? But it's like, I'm like, no, the choices that you make, like essentially what you do with it, whether you're aware of it or not, I guess. But that's a deep philosophical conversation about free will. But what you can use from a cognitive perspective is the kind of evolution theory of direction of intention. Like, when we were coming in off the beach and you can feel, oh, that kind of makes sense. Like maybe a tadpole expanding and then like it grows arms. Like, you see how we evolve over time, just animals on the earth.
And that aligns with like our belief system of Abraham Hicks that like you're never wrong because it's never done. So like it doesn't matter what choices that you make because there's always another choice until you're dead. But that's when
then you'll just
you
come back
release
again.
all of the resistance.
Yeah.
Apparently there's just like no more of the resistance that happens when you make your transition into non-physical.
Yeah.
But it's still like I don't like feeling like this.
Out of control? What's the difference?
I guess.
What's the like in terms of like you dress the same, like your eyes don't look the same, but as far as your appearance, like you look the same.
You would still recognize and identify me as Winny.
Yeah, like so, but your inner reality is so different. What's the difference between how you usually feel and how you feel now? What's that core vibration? Like, why do you feel like you're not contributing, you're not good, as opposed to some days you're like, I have the will to get better, or I feel like I'm accomplished or good?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't necessarily know the answer, but that's why we do this podcast, to massage it out.
I mean, basically, yeah. Speaking of massaging it out, I just tossed on some Butter Baron's Healing Salve. Buddy, so helpful and good. Shout out.
Truly helps with
go hit him up and get yourself some
pain
of that.
relief.
Healing
I use it
Salve.
on my back. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having a little tightness, and I think that I mean, and I want to get into that too. The smoking less. Which has been bizarre because I feel like to you guys, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I should be smoking all the time. Like, I'm the
That's
Canadian
a weird
Snoop
fucking
Dogg.
thing, too.
It's a weird fucking pressure,
both
too.
Both of us started smoking less in the last little while.
Just like a week.
And I was like, how funny would that be? Like, started this entire...
movement, discipline. But, like, that's what the fuck we say. It's, what is a disciplined stoners?
Yeah.
A cannabis user that uses the plant in conjunction with activities that are beneficial, mind, body, spirit to the individual. Now, whatever I determine is beneficial to myself at any given time is exactly how I'm going to use the plant. Look, it's this today. It's a little olive oil. Shout out Loyal to the Soil, Dustin from Sticky Nugs. Beautiful olive oil here. You know, I'm still ingesting cannabis. Not that I owe anyone an explanation that I'm ingesting cannabis. What I'm saying, I still utilize this miracle plant, but I'm just not like toking so hard all day.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's the issue. If anything, it's just being high makes me pay more attention to it.
Yeah.
We've also been nose breathing. That's another theory of mine. But Winny loves it. If you want to talk about the oxidant advantage, now you can. But if you're not inspired, that's fine.
Well, I want to go back to what we were massaging out, which was like, what's the difference between what you're feeling now and like what you're feeling when you're inspired. So I've been feeling... I made a short film and it's still fucking about like my depressive states, and it still hits. The script that I wrote for it was like, it sneaks up, like it's this quiet thing that it's not loud, so you don't necessarily see it coming if you're not paying attention. And so it's this slow build too, until all of a sudden you're like, how did I get down here? Like, when did that happen? I missed it. And
that's what happens.
I missed it. And and so I don't exactly, besides literally like what could be going on chemically during my period, which anecdotally, based on all of the women that I know, it's not uncommon to really dip during this time. And I am learning more about the phases of my my cycle. So I do take that into account, but this last one like hit me harder than it's been hitting me in the last month. So it's felt a little different. There's something different about this one. The last time it was, it was more physical discomfort, and maybe just a little sadness, but it's like, oh, it's just that part of my cycle. Where it was this time, it just like drains the energy out of you to a place where you're like, well, like, I guess I don't matter. What a weird thing to say.
And it's funny because no one's that kind about it. Like, no one's that, like, you're in pain. Like, you're in this physical pain. And, like, honestly, it's going to sound like such a dick thing, but I mean, in general, when the human being is going through pain, myself literally, like, with back pain, you perform dumber. You're not dumber, but on the surface, things that you're doing, you're just like...
Your focus is being split between clumsy, what you should be doing and what's going on in your body.
So the reaction you're getting from the world, like, that's why I honestly do think, like, workplaces, especially conservative workplaces, should make, like, maternity leave, but, like, period leave. Like, honestly,
I think that people who have periods should be able to take, like, I think what would be reasonable would be 2 extra days off a month.
That weekend, whatever week it falls on.
Yeah, and you just get to choose that. And if you're
guys,
fine, if you're feeling good, or if you're,
imagine
you're up,
if you were in back pain here. Like,
yeah,
right?
I mean, we get back pain. Like, it's so much of it.
I'm just trying to understand it because I don't actually know, but, like, I know how... by how you're acting, I can understand what it would take to get there.
And there's I don't know if these are real, but there are videos on the internet where I guess there's a machine that simulates what cramps feel like, PMS feels like in the body, and it literally takes down the men that are experiencing it. Like it drops them to their
That's
knees.
like when we're kind of like, were you on your fucking period or something? And it's like literally if the guy felt what you were feeling, it'd be like. Like you kick this in the nuts or something.
Yeah, probably something similar like that.
Like aren't our nuts just outside?
Ovaries,
yeah, they're
right?
in. Yeah,
so it is probably
similar, but like not the same because oh my god, it actually hurts so much.
And I don't know. There's a lot of women, especially naturopaths, that would say that naturopaths who are women, identify as women, who would say that like it's not normal for you to have pain during your period, and that's like a newer thing, like in the
maybe they just know about the affirmations. That's the thing. Like the affirmation, that's what we've sort of cut you off, but like we've been juggling that, right? Like even like with the bit of like chest pain that comes and goes, I'm like, I don't want to say it. Like I don't want to say this because I don't want to add momentum to that observation and manifest it further. But how can I communicate?
Yeah.
Like how can I even talk about it to let it go? To even reach a place of it being massaged out and not scaring. Like does that ever scare you?
My period?
Or depression or whatever.
Yes.
Pain.
Depression. Today, I'm like, even while it's happening and I'm feeling the paralysis, I'm like, why? Why is this happening? I don't like it. I have worked really hard to prevent it, which I will say, just like sidebar FYI, that what happened today, I'm like looking over at our couch right now because I spent a lot of time on the couch today. But that what happened today, like it happened a lot 10 years ago. Like,
it was like
that,
a quarter of your time.
Yeah. So like all of the
it's less and less all the time.
Wellness tools that I've learned over the course of time have implemented in my life, have been working. So just like want to say that, and that's why I continue that because I've proved that to myself that it is better, and these spaces between sort of these breakdowns.
Why do you resist?
I don't fucking. Because maybe...
is there a self-worth thing there? Or like,
well,
what's
obviously,
the
that's where we started. Like, there is self-worth thing. I don't know why I feel...
It's not just the confidence to, like, charge what I think you should charge for any of your creative services. Like, there's another professional self-worth, but there's an internal personal self-worth to not torture yourself if you're not doing so well, or you made a mistake, or you're not contributing. And, like, there's two sides of the coin for self-worth, both important to nurture and build up, but, like, that personal one must cause such an internal turmoil that's like cyclical. And like I'm over here like a clown trying to cheer her up and fucking playing the trumpet I don't know how to play, and she's just like nope. She's like nope. Like just like no. And just like it's sweet, like here's a joint and chocolate, and you're just like
I think it's because
shut down.
I think it kind of comes like a little bit now. This is just coming to me right now. Little bit from ego, where it's like I feel like I've really worked hard. I feel like I've worked so hard, and so
like on it. Clarify that. Like worked hard as a person, you deserve more results, or worked on it.
That the first one.
So like you should be a star on red carpet, Oscar winner. Kind of thing.
Not necessarily. I
feel like I should have 4 Grammys. I can think of 4 songs I have right now. I'm like, I could get a Grammy for those. Maybe I still will.
Time is fucking with me. I think that's like when I'm coming down to it. Like we've talked about this before, but I really do want to be that person that is carefree about time. Like, and so that's, I guess, where I'm intending to work towards.
On a good day, we are.
Yeah, and
right?
and ultimate, like the actual truth is that the longer I get to be in this experience, because I like you a lot, I like hanging out with you, I like doing this.
You love you guys.
I like the things that I do mostly in my life. So the longer I get to do those things, like seems like a good thing.
So you believe in yourself, like to do the things. Like I'm just saying, a lot of people don't even do the things that they want to do. Stefan brought that up today. He talked about UK actors, community UK theater actors. Like they don't trip if they're not famous. They make a living and they live their fucking life, and that's their craft. Like it's like, it's like we put this immense North Americanized stardom pressure on ourselves. And fuck yeah, I do too. I have a shrine of fan art.
And I think that creatives can probably relate to this, but like the
I like it.
incessant need to create, like,
But I do want to create every day. I really do want to create every day.
I don't have that. Like, I've been trying to work on my stand-up, and so that I think that's where it starts going down for me. Are
you really good at it yet, though? Because I didn't always want to mix songs. It used to scare me when I wasn't good at mixing.
Yeah. So
until you feel like
that starts to feel bad when you're like, I haven't worked on it again today. I haven't worked on it again today.
Let me tell you something. To watch you evolve into an entrepreneur has been amazing for this reflection. You're putting the same jobby rules on yourself as a free creator, thinking that since you don't perform like a 9-to-5 with this like very elusive magical power that you have as an artist, because it didn't show up with coffee at 8:30, it's not warranting like a professional nod. It's not like acceptable if you write a set at 11 p.m. or something, or you know what I mean? Like who are you to say when it's supposed to happen? Honestly, like when I hear you talk about yourself like that, I'm like, you haven't found it yet then. If you're still trying to chase it, you're not in. So how can you judge? It's like you don't know how to cook, and you serve up a raw steak. I mean, but you can serve raw steak. That's it. You can serve a raw steak. People will still laugh. That was the harder than I meant to. I thought you were further away. Tom Segura. Sorry to cut you off. I'm just saying, like, that felt like it came through for someone who needed that message too. If you're judging yourself because you're not being productive enough, the work isn't for you yet. Then
what the fuck am I supposed to do with my life if I'm not creating?
Move towards it. Like,
give me an example.
I still can't produce the beats. Like, as a spitter, I'm here. As a producer, I'm here. So I need good producers. So I'm not going to judge myself if I can't make all my own beats.
Okay, but let's specifically talk about stand-up comedy for me.
Okay.
Specifically talk about that. Like, if I keep not doing it, like let real talk.
Doing it one way. And we're back. So, like, that's so funny because there's context in with what you just said, right? So you're saying, if I don't do it, if I don't sit at the table and decide it's time to work and pump out a perfect 20 minutes, that I'm a piece of shit. Like, it's not like being an author, dude. You're saying, hey, universe, I only want miracles this way. Fuck off with the rest of your miracles that I can receive. Only give me the miracles through the small hole that my human ego identity can see. It's backwards. You cannot demand that magic happen through you on your fucking time period. And as much as you try to force the universe to do what you tell it to do, it's gonna like laugh at you and continue not to give you the gold that your higher being is on the other side of, just wanting to drop into your hand, but you're too busy being an employee for this invisible company that isn't formed. So it's like, you gotta let up on how that's gonna come through. Try new ways, go for a walk, do some acid, ride a roller coaster, rent a car, like just weird random shit, and go live some life and let it be funny and figure out a way to write about it. Like, do you think Tom Segura's set, do you think he didn't get his mom high, or do you think he wrote that joke? I think they're real stories, and then he finds a way to tell them afterwards. Like, you're not looking at what's fucked up and funny about your life. Like, you're trying to force some observation to be a comedian. I remember when I used to sound exactly like Eminem. I was doing just that. I used to write my bars just the way that he would write his bars, like, so I could attain perceivably that same goal, and that didn't happen.
So I'm going to debate you with two things, okay? So we know that if you want to do something, a great way to do that is find people who are already doing it and do what they're doing.
Sure. Like I just said, though, I just cracked that one, though, by saying that different people get different results based on different circumstances.
Right, but you don't disagree with what I just said.
I do and I don't. Like, can you model behavior? Did my mentors and my OGs and my friends who inspire me, who got what I want to achieve, do I think I'm gonna get the same result doing exactly what they did? No way.
Well, maybe because
I'm not Matthew Santoro. I
you-
cannot do fact videos. I'm not that guy. I'm not going to blow up that way.
But you did do 365 music videos in 365 days based on a recommendation.
Based on a presented partnership. Based on a collaboration.
But it
based
was brought to by someone who said, if you do this, you will blow up.
Well, I thought that was going to be the case, and it didn't. It didn't
So
happen.
you've experienced that firsthand for yourself. Then I'm just saying, like, I think a lot.
But did I mean, I didn't go viral, but there was this whole new
I mean, your songwriting just.
dimension of myself that I unlocked, and I became that guy.
Yeah.
Like when we went to Vancouver, and like homie who works with the Burbs, he's like, "Oh yeah, I heard about that in Toronto. You're that guy." So it's like I became this kind of urban legend in the music industry across Canada. And then when I time in LA, I was like, "Yeah, I can write a song in 5 minutes." And they're like, "What?" And this, yeah, I did this thing, and anyway, I'm autistic, but I can write a song in 5 minutes.
That's my first point of debate, and I stand by that. I think that
Is your point saying that-
mentorship is important, and I think that like for a starting, like if you're starting something and you don't know where to start, I think that finding people who are doing what you want to do.
That's a fair point, but
Yeah.
but can I just go back and clarify one small thing?
Yes.
I know it looked like it, and I know that I have the confidence to coincide with it, but I didn't care if it went viral, yo. It was the fact that Darnell, the video assistant for Angelo, who shot my cover art for my duo album with Elise Bauman, who I met through you, by accompanying you. It was a series of events, because you blew up on Netflix with Elise, thanks to the girls. Thanks to the Gay Women's Channel. Shout out Sarah and Age, right? God led me there. And I felt that, or your higher being, or nature, or the universe, or whatever. Ganesh, whatever. All that good stuff. They all led me there. So it wasn't about doing it for the result of the virality. It was about, this motherfucker is investing in me. This guy says, we should do it because you're the only artist that can. Because I had put up for 6 months a daily freestyle that I just shot on my phone. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And I've always taken the musicians and artists and video creators that have worked with me. That's the prize for me. That's what means so much to me. Like, you're putting your day on the line for me. Like, you're going to go look at my face and edit for 5 hours, you know, for this project. And did they come out on top? I hooked them up with Pixel Dreams. They got full-time jobs. Like, it was my pleasure to lead them to the next chapter right through me. You know, as much as I give, I want to receive. As much as I receive, I want to give, or the bounty of both on both ends. But that was I'm just wanted to clarify, because you say it's like I was emulating success from a suggestion, because the suggestion was from Gary Vee. And Darnell came to me and offered to do that with me. And I was like, you have the balls to do this? I'll fucking buy lunch every day. Like, and I did, and we did it, and it gave me an opportunity to work with everyone in Hands View. Like, so I'm just saying, like, it was for the let's go get this, but and like let's blow up, but it was also like I was kind of touched, like I was kind of honored.
Yeah.
There wasn't even synergy at first.
You and Darnell the first time he came here.
Oh, of course. He's a vibe, but I'm saying we had to learn to communicate. Like, we got to learn, like, his assistant or his partner, Matt. Like, it wasn't right away. It was like everyone had to get on each other's level. I had to relax a bit. They had to we all learned to like kind of coincide. I'm just saying, I want you to keep going, and I think it's a valid point, but I just want to clarify that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So fine. I'll take that, because even if you were like, yeah, that's true, it still didn't work the way Gary Vee said it was going to work. So
no.
So it doesn't really prove my point anyways. But the next point that I'm contemplating is that I think that I'm having a harder time than I've observed before, differentiating between when technic moves the spirit, as we say, and when I'm forcing.
Yep, because you're a new entrepreneur.
So what the fuck?
That's why. And you got to stomp your feet for about 2 years.
Well, I want it now.
You know how many people watching or feel exactly like you do, and you're the one telling them most weeks to be patient.
I can't actually take myself seriously when I say that.
No,
I want to say it, but when I say it out loud, I can't take myself.
No, but that's how we feel. Like you're absolutely right. You think I don't want virality still? Like it's like, of course, like every single I drop, I want it to go viral. Like I'm not letting go of that idea. Like, I mean, although we do have to let go, we do have to surrender. As I've been letting go these past couple days, it's been moving. Like things move when you just look away for a minute. Like chill the fuck out. Like you're literally stomping your feet going, universe, work on my time. Call me back now, partner. Fucking brand come through now. Be interested in now. See my vision now. I'm impatient. I'm angry. Fuck you. I've worked so hard. Fuck you. Fuck me. Fuck this. Am I not good enough? Fuck them. They can't see it. All this bullshit, and it's all lies, and you're spending your time doing that instead of thinking, I could go eat a hot dog and get inspired. Go jerk off. Do whatever the fuck you want, bro. Just find a way to feel better before you do it. But we know this. You know this. You already know this. Shout out Primo. Lightning. Lava cake.
Great pie times double thin mints.
So delicious.
Right?
Yep. Or thin mints, at least, for sure, I know. But yeah, no, I think you're doing just fine trying to pump the same results out of it's like you were like, as an employee, you're using the ketchup bottle, and as an entrepreneur, you're like pouring truffle oil. And you think that you're going to like grab that truffle oil and use it like a ketchup shaker, but it doesn't come out that way. You know what I mean?
I'm so afraid
Weird
of
analogy.
looking back and thinking you should have worked harder.
But how could you have actually even worked harder?
I don't know.
So now you're just introducing resistance.
I know.
Why do you think that? Do you think it's because your upbringing, like middle class? We often think about that. That's an interesting thing too. You have your own struggles based on your limiting beliefs placed in your way, or do you think it has anything to do with that programming, or do you think it truly has to do with your lack of understanding for how to create harmony and momentum? Or is there clarity on that right now?
There's not.
It's okay. Well, it's nice. Thank you so much for sharing that. Like, honestly, like I had to get a pain in my chest before I started to slow down. So well, like maybe you're just good. I used to do
that. Like as a young person, like this might be habitual. Like as a young person, I would just work until I burnt out. And then I would take, between 3 and 7 days to not talk to anyone and sit in a dark, deep hole. And then I would come out of it naturally, just eventually I would come out of it. And then I would just start again.
Basically, I wouldn't die and then I'd be alive again.
Yeah.
Because you're dropping your vibration in the cycle of observing what is and how you currently feel, because your emotions are a manifestation. And
for some reason, also, I was thinking about that douchebag on this bicycle.
On the bike? No way.
That last week, I was like.
Talk about it. That's so funny, because sometimes someone just gets in your fucking craw and you're just like, fuck you. Like, I'm pissed.
Yeah. So I was riding my scooter in the bike lane, which.
As I do all the time. Awesome.
That's where the world is going, people. So get on board. I don't understand.
Your resistance to it.
And also, my scooter, even though I've been riding your scooter, my scooter only goes 15 kilometers. And also, e-bikes are in the city, and they go 29 kilometers. So don't get at me with the motorized blah. Bullshit. And this guy, he was trying to pass me, and I was just scooting. I had cruise control on, so I was just scooting. I wasn't trying to not let him pass or anything. And then I looked at him, and I smiled, and he looked back at me and said, is this not a bike lane anymore? And then he noticed that I smiled at him, but he had already said it. And then so he did kind of like a laugh, like, oh, just kidding, kind of, you know?
He was inconvenienced and reacted out of weakness because he doesn't know how to be a gentleman or share the road as a societal partner.
And no one else was coming his direction. Like, it's not like he was in danger at all.
He's being a bitch.
Also,
hey, dude,
by
if
the
you're watching
way,
this, you're a little bitch.
Also, by the way, like, you don't come at me with endangering your life by being on a motorized vehicle if you're not wearing a fucking helmet. This situation happened a month ago, everyone. What the fuck am I still talking about it for?
Dude,
God.
I mean, I think, what did you say? What did you do after?
I said, thanks, bud. I'll take that into account.
So here's what I think is going on. The way you replied to that is passive.
Yeah, because
Okay.
I don't want to be angry, but I wish I would have. I feel like I wish I would have said something.
So
now.
what I can do is connect the dots from the outside looking in, and say, as much as I want to fucking smoke that guy in the face for being rude to my wife, and I will if I see him, but we probably never will because he's not real. You manifest these background people, and they're not even real. They're there to test you and see where you're at. The evolution of your confidence has been on the precipice of breaking through. Like Diana Ross is going to sing for your big, bold Winny that's coming through and your new identity that we have to surrender to now. And your old behavior was passive and your new behavior is confidence. And I think the only thing going on here is your ego identity hasn't caught up to what your higher being wants it to be and how it wants it to act. And it's okay to say to some little fucking bitch who mouths off to you, be like, go fuck yourself. Say it. Like, try it out. I think that's the only thing. I think you haven't come to acceptance on you want to be a little more aggressive. Just like me, if that would have happened to me,
I do like being aggressive.
I would have followed him.
Yeah.
Like, so I need to chill the fuck out because I would have screamed at that guy and followed him. But he can smell that.
Him. I tried, but a car got in my way.
Because you wanted to chirp him?
Yeah.
Nice. So you were just kind of too late. Trust me, I've had a couple of
Yeah,
those.
so
You're like, I
I
should have
feel-
fucking, just like that guy who talked shit and he was drunk. What?
And that guy that like looked at me weird.
Oh yeah.
So I think what's going on is
Yeah.
that like I've allowed some people to
Yeah,
like cross boundaries,
and
I
chase
haven't stuck up for myself.
Boom.
And so I'm feeling shame about that.
There it is.
Yeah.
Because neither of those people hurt you or touch you. They're still alive, right? Because if that happened, I'd fucking put them in
I don't
trunk.
know. People die every day.
People end up in trunks. It happens. Anyway, like there was no real actual threat. I chased that guy down the block with a thing and let him know that this is a protected area. But other than that, nothing really did need to be done. It wasn't going to be okay of me to fucking stomp this guy till next Sunday because he looked in. Like he looked in when was just chilling on our couch, as you're fucking allowed to do. We live ground level, and you're wearing short shorts. And this creepy guy who probably just got out of jail and was probably staying at the shelter, you know, kind of close by, and he looked in creepily, and Winnie didn't like it. Instead of being like, get the fuck out of here, like what you should have done and you're allowed to do and you can do. And when he came and looked back, she said, Ev, there's a guy. And I got up and opened the door like, hey, man. Like when there's a guy, I thought the guy was dropping off cupcakes. That's the reality I'm in. I'm in the guy's coming to bring me cupcakes.
And how I thought I said it was like, there's like a guy out there.
But she was like, Ev, like, there's a guy, like, because...
Yeah, you were chill about it.
I was like, oh, yeah? Cool. Like, I don't know if it was Chris, or like one of our neighbors. Like, I got lots of friends, bro. Like, people come here to give me stuff. I'm like, great. Like, what's up? And then I saw he was a little grubby, and I was like, oh. I'm like, what's up? And I was like, are you fucking with the garden? Like, I looked at the garden, looked at him, and he took off right down the block because he saw a guy. And maybe I'm a little like, you know, and so I closed the door. And then Wynn's like, yeah, you couldn't even articulate it first.
I was like, he was definitely like looking like I wanted to say he's a predator, like that he was looking at me like a predator. And but like I was like, he was looking at me weird because also women are also are told,
Hunted.
not believed.
Not believed.
So, you don't want to.
No, but you're believed by me.
No, I know. But
So,
just like that was another thing that we got to watch these things, right? Like how we react in society and how like I've
But you
trained
know, though,
myself in certain ways
So this is a
based
good-
on like my belief system, essentially.
So, and these are all subtle cues too. If she complains, she's hard to work with. If she talks, if she said what really happens, when that guy came up and had that kind of sexual energy or like that unwarranted aggressive forwardness, it's like, it's not okay for you to say, like, get away from me, you fucking pig. Like, you can say that. You know what I mean? Like, women, like, you're allowed to say that. No one's going to hit you.
I think, well, that's not true though.
Well, but then you could, I'll kill him.
I think that's a lot of reasons.
There's someone
why.
Around that will fuck a guy up for you. I'm just saying.
For me, like
Violence isn't the answer, but like I'm saying, like break through this confidence barrier.
For me, it is a verbal thing, but there are strong women out there who do want to say, "Hey, go fuck yourself," but they think twice, especially if they're alone.
Totally.
Because there is a chance of violence because
But a lot less than you
men are-
think, I think.
well, we're not going to take that
You don't
risk.
take that risk, right? And that's it's easy for me to say I'm out here fucking egging him on.
It's
so I grabbed the
crazy how
stick,
much
I
of a
chased him
different
down the
experience we have.
Yeah, I bet. So just let me finish that story. Like I grabbed the stick, the extendo, with no shirt on and just my shorts, and like chased him down the block and like kind of like faced off with him and let him know like what's up. And he joked about it. So I'm like,
And I was right. He was.
So what I said, I'm like, I think you scared her, eh? And he's like, it was supposed to, and like goes like, and like walks away as fast as he can. And I'm like, do I run at this guy and split his fucking head open? Like he's already like, you're obviously insane. Like you're insane that you thought that was okay to say, like And then you go, City of Toronto, is it a good idea to put homeless shelters in nice areas? I don't know. Is it? Because they're in risk because I'm going hunting.
I still say yes. We've met a lot of nice people from that shelter.
I might take care of a few of them for you. But I'm just saying.
There's going to be there's people who.
We have met a couple really nice people that are just in transition periods of their life. And you're right. It's a pretty shitty blanket statement that I did just make. But I'm just saying I don't appreciate that risk. And I followed him out of the neighborhood because it's not just my wife. It's women around here that I feel I have to protect. And I don't want to feel like that. But like, what the fuck is up with that predatory nonsense?
That was intense, for sure.
And it was just a look. It was all off of a look. Like, this little bitch got his story told on a fucking dope-ass podcast. Like, that's how much it's created ripples. So, like, all the little subtle things you do in life, whether you're being creepy or whether you're being judgmental or aggressive or chirping someone on a scooter in the bike lane, like, this shit sends ripples. And, like, you're being like a shitty side of that. And maybe that's just the journey that you're on. Why do you think you attracted that? I think both because you're developing your confidence. Neither of those people are real. And I think that you manifested it to give yourself an opportunity to be bold. And when you didn't, they reoccur on you because you're feeling shame about not sticking up for yourself. Do you think that's right or no?
I mean, ultimately, yes, it sounds. It's complex.
Yeah, take your time. Take your time. It's not like.
It's complex because, am I going to say it was my fault?
No, it's not your fault.
No, hold on. My fault that I had my front door open and I was sitting on my couch with my legs wide open and someone happened to be intrigued by that. That's definitely not my fault, obviously, right? We know that. He knows that. That's why he interrupted. But am I emitting a frequency that is pulling towards me experiences that I can either choose to benefit from or not? Yes, I do believe that. So just wanted to really be very specific about what we mean taking responsibility, doesn't always mean you were at fault.
Nice. So, do you think you were, you didn't have defense up or expand enough?
It was absolutely, that experience was so intrusive. Right. I'm sitting in my home and someone
makes you endearment.
Yeah, makes me like a piece of an object that they can utilize for their own.
Disgusting.
Disgusting. Don't even So that experience was not fun, but if I could go back, I would have gotten up right away. I wasn't trusting my intuition. I was saying, Ev, I don't know. When I actually did know. I actually did know. And I wish that I would have gotten up and said, hey, that's not okay. Back off.
And if he said shit, I'll break his fucking face.
Yeah. I mean.
Especially if I'm here.
The fact that you were there and I didn't even take that liberty.
You didn't even give me a cue in that's what pisses me off. If you had even looked at me and been like, boom, I would have went out like, what? Like, it's like you protected the, what do you call it? You protect the abuser, kind of? Like that. I think that happens to women a lot. Like you protect the abuser almost, But then when I ran out with the stick, you didn't say anything. So it's like you just wanted it to happen over there.
Yeah, that was one of the first times actually that I didn't follow you to
stop me, and I love that.
So that, maybe that was in that moment me trying to take some type of power back. I don't know, but...
And then she was like, if you hit him in the leg, it's fine. It's like, baby, that's not the way these things work. You can't just hit someone and expect them to
that's what, in my mind, that's what I was like, well, if he just gives him a tap.
No.
It's okay.
It's break the fucking head
But you
open.
don't ever hurt anyone.
No, I want to go to the States, man. And someone peering in, being a creep really isn't worth jail time or our court case or anything, or even talking to the cops. It's not worth that. How far I'd have to take it, it's like, was it really worth it? Now I gotta bury this fucking body because someone looked but even if I call one of my gangster friends to help me take care of this, what did he do? He looked in.
I don't know. If you explain the situation.
I know. No, it'd be better with him off the streets. You'd be better with him off the streets. But I'm saying in my own head in that moment where I'm like, do I run after him and slay him down?
Slay.
I'm behind, I was like, sure, that. If that has to happen, it has to happen. But it's like, what do I say? When someone who comes out of that building sees this bloody guy in the ground and me standing over him, how do I explain myself? It's not enough, and that's where women do get silenced, because it does have to happen in the moment, but maybe you're scared. Maybe you're not sure. You don't know how to handle this.
And a lot of women will agree with you. It's not worth it. The microaggressions that I imagine women, I don't work in corporate, so I don't know, but I have friends, and
even being disrespected and not taken seriously at a boardroom, that's micro abuse. That shit, when a woman says something and then it's not taken, and then when a guy says it, it's taken. I've seen this happen many times after hearing about it.
I think this was a joke on The Office at one point.
Because she's like, oh, it would be a good idea to have a pool party. Mm-hmm. And everyone's just still looking around. And then a guy said, I think it's the Dwight or something. He's like, yeah, let's have a pool party. And they're like, good idea.
Yeah. And it may have made an appearance in Brooklyn Nine-Nine too.
Yeah. So it's it's kind of a common thing. And it's I sound like a fucking leftist over here. But it's no, I've seen it. And I've corrected. I'd be like she just said? What did you miss?
Yeah.
What did you miss in her voice?
Shout out in the cannabis industry to, who you are if you're listening, who really have always made a point to introduce me in networking events. Nice. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
There's been times, I think, where
this show is half female.
Yeah, the female plant, everybody.
This plant
We're
is
not
female.
here without the female.
But the male does help pollinate it, right? We all need each other, bro.
I don't know how that works.
You know what's up? I mean, here's the weird thing. There needs to be harmony and balance among both sexes and all people for us to just figure out how to move forward. But there's boundaries put up now and a lack of trust based on just reckless behavior, like animal behavior. So when the feminism goes so hard, and like you have a funny joke about it in your set, like, may I say the take a shit joke, or you want to keep it not on here?
Not on here.
Okay.
You have to come see that shit. I'm still using that in my act.
So I won't put it out, but there's this funny like point of feministic virtues that go fuck men, and you're wrong just because you're standing with the penis. Like I felt that energy. Like I still do. Like you expect because I'm just a straight guy that I'm going to dismiss you because you're maybe a gay woman or something. You know what I mean? Like, we have to still find value out of each other. Everyone I come across, there's something special about you. I know that. I know that in my heart. Like, no matter who you are. Even after I fucking kill that guy, maybe once his rehabilitation comes back, there's something special. Don't be a fucking creep in the streets, but I know there's something special. So it's like, why just because I'm a guy? Like, you have to, like, dismiss me.
I don't think that's limited to feminists. I think that's just, like, a personal... I think just some people you don't fucking jive with, and they don't jive with you. I don't actually think that has anything to do with feminism.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that sometimes
Are you dismissing my objection to the extremism completely? Like, that doesn't happen at all?
I understand that you may have felt outcasted before by people who identify as feminists.
Or just like, they may not even, because I technically identify as a feminist if it is by definition what it is, which is equality for, it's not both sexes anymore, it's all sexes? Or what's the correct terminology?
I'm not sure, but okay, equality for all.
Equality for all,
fine.
There you go, nice. You know, by definition I am, but by sometimes vibe, I'm not. Like, we have that funny episode that's like, is Ellevan a redneck? Because what the fuck? I'm swear I don't vote for anyone, but I'm certainly not.
But that's what I'm saying.
A rightist. I'm certainly not a leftist either. But like, all of these strange labels we give ourselves that separate. You don't think there's a risk with that, with labels, like separation of ourselves? No, or you think it's good to classify? Because there's problems on both sides. I mean, we just came from saying how shitty and pig mentality men are, and now I'm just saying, like, you know, is there not equal? It's not equal though.
I'm just saying that when you have experienced that, I think that whenever someone doesn't like us, we would like to
I feel misunderstood.
Make up a reason why they don't like us. Ooh, right? So
nice.
We want some type of validation that they
don't understand us. They don't understand us.
So we're trying to say, hey, you're, a feminist, and that's if you didn't.
I'm not saying I get that a lot. Most times I'm getting a lot of love.
System.
I don't want to place myself like I get that reaction a lot.
Yeah. So no, I know, but you're saying if you didn't have that belief system, I've done this with people. Oh my God, please, love addict over here. Like I always want to know how I can improve.
So you can like me and I can feel okay about myself.
Yeah. So we're like, oh, because you're this or going through this, you perceive me this way.
You've been disappointed by the behavior of people who look like me in the past, so I assume you're giving me that baggage. And most times I've had that experience. Once I see it through, or once I create some harmony, I do hear that, though. It has been proven right, like directly from
I know, but what came first?
What?
Your thought came first. Your expectation came first.
Oh, nice. True. So you're saying I manifested.
Well, just like you talked about labels just now, you classified in order to understand.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Perception. Yeah.
What was going on, and ultimately, we know that we don't know. So, like, as much as and you have been proven right. So now your experience tells you that based on what you've...
This is not a common problem I have.
No,
I just
I know.
want to clarify that. I'm experiencing this perception almost anecdotally right now.
Totally, but it's the same thing with me and the cyclist that I can't seem to allow to take up less space in my brain.
Because there's lessons to be learned there. That's what it is. If it's still circulating in your head, there's lessons there.
I don't know. It could be just that I'm tired and I want to feel something. I don't know. I don't know why it's coming up.
That's big.
But I don't want to think about it anymore. I want that person to release from my life. Well, I don't want you to take up any more space.
It's a cyclist for you. Apparently, it's a feminist for me. It's not the fucking case. I don't know why we landed on that example.
No,
I'm just
what I'm telling...
I'm just saying everyone has one.
Quickly,
Everyone
I'm telling you
one.
that it's not a feminist. You have this same thing that you do with these perceived feminists. You do with...
Stop pitting me against them. I don't...
With men, like dudes, like very non-feminist dudes, you have this same feeling.
I'll catch
with
the fucking
sometimes.
smoke with anyone.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't vibe with people. We're not meant to vibe with everyone.
I don't give a fuck who you are.
It just like is really for some reason obvious in your case.
Because I'm very stated, so I'm overstated. So I know the people that are like, love this guy, like fucking Primo, our boy Wallace Lightning, immediate vibes. Go figure, sweetheart, big guy, confidence. You know what I mean? Like,
love him.
Sweetheart. So, yes, you can meet me there. And then, yeah, some folks that don't like how I'm moving, I can feel that. So then I just, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, it's like that then. You know? Good. It's like that.
I know.
So, like, ultimately, if this breaks down to, like, pleasantry in your own reality by, like, feeling the highest potential of harmony, it's not wise to separate yourself, but also how much fucking strain would there be if I tried to fake it?
Well, it's just like sometimes I feel like maybe I can't control when I take things personally or not.
We have learned nothing here today. But we've talked about it a lot.
It feels like I can't control it. Like I'm like, well, I know, and even if I know intellectually that it doesn't make sense to take it personally, it still like hits a pain body that I guess just needs some time to heal back up. It's just like any wound, right? Like you need to put some polysporin on that shit or ozone oil.
Ozone oil.
Loved by Hollis.
Ozone oil. Scott, amazing guy, living the free life, found this miracle stuff. We'll put the link in the description.
Yeah, you've been putting ozone on your face. I put it on my zit today. So helpful. Have some olive oil. Whew, okay.
It's good for the throat.
We went a lot of places and I'm feeling actually higher on the emotional scale now.
Yeah, you brought us all down with you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay to feel.
It's good to stay light.
I have a fun fact.
Fuck. Go.
I have a fun fact, a very fun fact that will make you feel fun. Fun fact. It's not exact because I don't have my phone. But the Bermuda Triangle is believed to be where Atlantis was. Mm-hmm. And Atlantis people...
Atlanteans?
Yeah, picked that spot because there's crystals that have powers that can do different things, I guess, with nature.
Interdimensional?
Beyond
it's the grid.
What we understand.
Yeah.
There's crystals in that area that can do that. And so they created like a colony around that to have the power of these crystals.
Harness.
Yeah.
That's an amazing fact.
Yeah, I didn't think about my phone, so it's not as clear as it usually is, but you get it.
That was well said.
Does anyone know about Atlantis? Put it in the comments. I love how we had this absolutely insane conversation. If you are watching this and you're like, well, they've gone off the deep end. They're like, I'm not quite sure about them anymore. I would understand.
They're a little nuts. I think so. Yo, let's talk about something that we do know and is super dope. I just want to say I'm very cool with feminism, and I like feminists, all right? So, chill.
Oh man, that's so funny.
Cooking show. You hungry? She named it. I made the logo. She shot it. I make the recipes. We do low cost, delicious, high-end luxury gourmet. Make yourself at home, follow along at cook content for our YouTube channel now.
And the best thing for me is that after we're done shooting, I get to eat the food that was made.
Yeah.
And it's fucking good.
I think everything that we explored here today is the predetermined perception of others and ourselves. Self-worth, you hating all cyclists, and I'm just kidding, and me hating all feminists. I'm being ridiculous. I'm saying all of these things, including everything that we touched along the way, all have to do with the predetermined perception of others or yourself. So we are basically in control of our reactions through what we're doing with our emotions before it gets to that tipping point, including standing up for yourself, including your personal autonomy, including who you want to be as an entrepreneur or star or whatever job you want to get or whatever you want to do or create with your life. The power is all administered by you. You decide. It's up to you how this goes.
Yeah, I mean, when I was on mushrooms a couple days ago, I had this really deep moment that I understood that there's always choice, which is hilarious that I went into like this dark space right after that.
There's always choice. Okay, I will choose to then be depressed.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe you needed to shut down. No, Alicia says it's the time to surrender. It's the time to surrender. Give it up to God.
I think I wish that I could learn how to surrender faster. Like, I don't.
Of course, but you're judging yourself on the surrender process now. There's nothing more non-surrendery than that.
God.
I'll surrender, but in the way I want to surrender.
No, I don't even know how to surrender. I'm like,
but you do. Shut the fuck up. Like, let go. Like, let go for a minute. Like, whatever you're thinking about, don't forget about it.
That's why TV is helpful for me.
Sure, whatever.
Shout out shows. Shout out
this show for some people. I mean, this was a very triggering episode, I'm sure, for many people. It incorporated.
Should we just put a disclaimer at the top?
It incorporated violence. It incorporated one-sidedness, labeling, judgment, self-worth issues. Fuck. I love this shit. It's dark, bitch.
We're gonna come back with. It's gonna go back up. Like if we can use our experience, so let's say maybe when our past experiences inform us of what perhaps our future experiences are going to be like, maybe we got to check that more often.
Well, do they inform you or do they like give you inspiration of what to expect so you end up bringing that to life?
Exactly.
It influences you.
Yeah. So, but it's like when you experience something, that's how you know not to touch a hot stove again.
You don't need to learn twice there, do you? It's hot, but when you go down that emotional hole, you go there again and again and again and again, and you seem to not know how to control it. It's like you can't just learn not to touch the burner, like the emotional equivalent of it.
Yeah,
don't think like that about people and yourself.
I'm going to explore this more, everyone. And
we all got some homework to do. You know what also is true? This is a very vulnerable episode, and our last 3 episodes had people. So in the House of Disciplined Stoners, we just had a lot of guests over. And then this is kind of like that crash of just like coming back to like, I was just faking it for a while. I'm not that happy. Like, like when people are over and you're like, this is awesome. Don't mind that it's 2 a.m. I've been up since 5 a.m. I love that guests are over, and you're like lying.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. You're like, fuck. Here's the real us, bitch. It hurts sometimes too. Even if you have the tools, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all rah-rah until it's put into action.
Yeah. What do you do with when you get creative burnout?
Is that what it is? It's not. That's the thing. You're labeling things. It's not even creative burnout. I just told you, you're asking for... God's like, here's 500 pounds of brisket. And you're like, give me a morsel. Give me a small morsel of a burnt end pork rib. Give me this, or else I'm not going to accept any other gifts. Give me this first. Give what I think I can see first. I'm going to ignore all wisdom and go with knowledge, and I need it this right now, or else it's not so, and I won't open my fucking hands for anything else. And if you turn this way and just shut the fuck up for a minute, it's like 500 pounds of brisket.
Yeah.
I don't know why I had a barbecue analogy so available. But like, that's what I hear from you only, is like, because that's the plague of the middle class. When you come up, I had no choice but to, oh my God, how the fuck is mom gonna get rent money today? Like, it's the 31st, and there's not even 31 days in this month. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is February. So I don't have a choice. I had to trust, but you're, you know, and you got fucking lectured and realism and all that bullshit. So it's the plague of the middle class. That's what that's what I think is going on. That's what I hear the most, is you're like, it's exactly how I expect it, so it has to happen like that, or else it's not happening. I am shit. And I'm like, ooh, you should go get a job and work for someone else's vision. I'm gonna go build my own shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's hitting me pretty hard right now.
Well, sorry if it hurts, but also you're welcome. And you're welcome. And sorry to any feminists I may have offended.
Just move on.
I'm just fucking around.
You bringing it back is what's making it weird.
No, I'm making it funny because feminists love nothing more than being apologized to. Oh my God!
Someone's gonna fucking click that, like, fucking rip just that part, and we're fucked. Don't cancel us.
Are you kidding? That was hilarious. I don't know why that camera died. I hope I pressed record on that one. Oh. Anyway, so fun.
So fun.
Listen, I started this journey as a comedian.
Yeah.
Doing a couple dates, doing a couple shows. We have a Discipline Stunners live intimate show at the Saks Gallery on July 21st if you're in Toronto.
Hopefully I'm funny by then.
Dude, shut up. You're funny. You're being funny right now. You're just hilarious.
I know. God.
That whole cyclist story, that was so funny.
Oh, also, though, cyclists are
Chill out.
The craziest.
Chill out. Like, you know when cyclists are like, drivers are crazy? It's like, no, you're crazy.
You're the crazy one.
Pedestrians aren't crazy. You're crazy. Yeah. Cyclists, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, you get too crazy about things.
Not even this one guy. It's just like a running known joke in Toronto, I guess, or just like anywhere where there's like a lot of bike lanes and like,
just like
bike lane.
Yeah. People on Harvard, the Harvard bike lane, if you get in that bike lane, they don't like it. And all of them.
It's like
one after another.
Dude, you forgot why you moved to a city. There's people around.
Yeah.
Like it's Toronto, dude. Like, this is like Canada's
also
New York.
Everyone's doing what's right for them.
So like, move around or something. Look,
it's chill. It's not a big deal.
I'm definitely one to pop at someone and be like, yo, like, get the fuck out of my way, but then also smile at them and then smile and like make it. And he's like, you know what I mean? Like, make it a little moment where I realize we're all the same energy here, trying our best, but like right now, get the fuck out of my way.
I don't like feeling judged also. I think I'm having this experience where a cyclist actually yelled at me for being on the sidewalk, but he didn't realize that I was just, there was a bike rack right there. So I was just literally cycling to the rack to like put up my bike. And I like never cycle on the sidewalk because I think that's annoying too. And I just wanted him to know so bad. I just wanted him to know that I wasn't doing what he thought I was doing. Yeah.
No, I'm not wrong. Your perception of me matters to me.
I hate this so much. I hate this.
I'm going to let how you feel about me affect the way I feel about myself. Nah, dude, if you don't like me, I love that. Like, deep down, it's fucked up. Like, deep down, there's a pain addiction there or something. Like, you either got a love addiction or a pain addiction. But like deep down, I'm like, oh, fucking amazing. Like, you've misunderstood me. Like, you're offended or I'm too much for you. I love that. Like, good. Like, oh, I hope I fucked up your day then. Like, if you're being a little bitch to me, I hope you think about me. Like, fuck you. I win. Like, you know, that's my little secret thing, because you got to take what you can get. Again, that's what I'm saying. You're plagued by the middle class. That's crazy. I can't believe we had that beautiful uncovering today. I bet a lot of people resonate with that. I bet a lot of people don't know how to feel about me right now. I bet a lot of people are like, cool. Is there any episodes with just Winny?
Yeah. So this is how.
This is how I react.
Yeah, you're making assumptions based on what you said. You're like, this is how people are gonna perceive this. This is so fucked.
It's funny
that we do this, though. It's
good.
so bizarre that we are like, hey, this is how this person's gonna feel about me because I think I know how everyone thinks and feels.
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Oh, fuck
Bars.
off.
But how are you gonna ever get anywhere? How do you, it's like, it's almost just a safety mechanism. Can you expand before we go, because this is a nice long episode, can you expand on the pain body, love body thing?
Expand on the pain body.
We both use the term pain body.
So I first learned about pain body through Eckhart Tolle, and it is an emotional wound that lives inside you that may be covered up by a lot of armor and cells and meat and muscle and skin. And so it really, if you're not looking for it, it might be unknown to you that it is there because it's covered. But when things happen and you kind of feel like you get punched in the gut emotionally, a lot of times it's a exposing of that pain body that you didn't necessarily know was there. So then again, what we did is we try and label it and say, well, because this person made me feel this way, so you're continuing to keep that pain body covered, instead of saying, whoa, I was, abandoned at 3, and now, because I never really took the time to understand that or process that or be with that little person that feels alone, I am experiencing some resurgence of that pain that's asking to be taken care of. So that's what I believe is a pain body. And you can look at it and, again, take responsibility for it and talk to it and nurture it, figure out ways to nurture it. Or you can say that it's someone else's fault and keep it covered.
Oh, such a beautiful explanation. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'll hop right onto that. Like, with the function of it, now you know what it is. You get stung. And it starts expanding. And the vulnerability, like I'm talking about metaphysically, in your aura, it starts expanding. And it's like a breath, right? And you can let it shrink again. But what's usually happening in a human day, whatever preconception you have of the world or whatever, you created this opening for a little ding, a little sting, and it stings and it opens, and it hurts, and we ignore it.
Like when you pick a scab.
And then when something, please don't interrupt in my analogy. When something happens again that dings you, oh fuck, it starts to grow again. And it gets further away from the center of the heart, where you have to shrink the pain body to go into the love body, where you feel that oneness and you're living in love, which when you're living in love, it looks like you want to give. You just want to give. You want to be in your true being self and just live your purpose. You're in your love body and you're in harmony. So that pain body needs to shrink again. So it goes out, and look, as it goes out, it can catch more. And then something happens over here and it expands again. And something happens over here, and then you hear something, or you're looking for something in the news to fight against, and you learn about that, and it expands again, and your fear expands. So we need to have the patience. I love how you brought up inner child work. We need to have the patience with ourselves to let that shrink and not keep going. Same as Winny trying to say, I need to write my set here now in 15 minutes or else I am shit. Like, you are abusing yourself saying that you have to go now to lunch because and you're so in pain. You're so in pain and you can't admit that to yourself. And now it's, as you nailed, it's someone else's fault. And is it technically their fault on the surface? Yes. In that moment, they did that thing that you don't like. So I hurt you, allowed it to hurt you, so it's their fault. Like, on the surface, it is like, yes, that perceivable influence, but there's no protrusion in this dimension, as Abraham says. There's no breaking through. It's all attraction. So it's like, you have to shift your focus from expecting those pain body kind of bumps that happen along your day. And there's ebbs and flows, bro. Ups and downs life has. This hydraulics. Preparation be the only thing to keep you polished.
It's coming.
We the Best, dropping July 11th. Probably already out if you're watching this.
No, that's next Tuesday, where this is dropping tomorrow.
Well, it drops, but I bet like probably 2% of our audience watches these when they come out immediately.
Yeah, thanks to everyone though who watches them Friday night. It's so cool. Like, I wake up and see the views, and I'm like, that's so cool.
Thank you guys. Thank you. Happy Friday night for those folks, and happy life and all the other times that people. I love hearing when people. Actually, huge shout out to our community right now. Instagram's constantly growing. Like, huge shout out. Love you guys. When I get DMs, when people like found us at the right time, like people are at times in their life when they could really use some of these messages we talk about.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
You know, and they're like, I did a deep dive where like I fell in the rabbit hole of these, and I'm like, wow, like,
thanks.
I'm so honored for that. So if you're listening to this during a deep dive or a rabbit hole, welcome, and thanks for being here. And it definitely is the right spot for you. I'm just excited. I really like this. I think the podcast in this community is actually one of those happy things that I can shift my attention to. It's almost like I overuse it.
It's like
sometimes.
We should have done this earlier in the week.
Oh yeah, it's the day before Friday. Today it's the day before Friday. What is that? Thursday? Wednesday? It's Wednesday, and I was like, "When do we have an episode for tomorrow?" And she's like, "No." And now we've just told you how we've been feeling, and there was this moment of silence. And
there was even resistance in doing this episode. I was like, well, what if we cut together the music video that we shot and just give them something?
And I'm like, that's weird. Like if I followed a podcast and they were like, here's the music video this week because one of them is an artist and I'm in it. And it's like, I'd be like, nope, that's definitely not a podcast.
I was like, what if we cut together the best of all of our podcasts? We have that's
so
147.
That's so much more work.
You couldn't even watch 147 episodes. That's 147 hours. That shit's crazy.
There's not enough time, mate. Like, for you to fully dive in now, you couldn't. There's not 147 hours for tomorrow.
We've done like 5 days of podcasting. 50. Yeah, like 5 whole days.
Again, shout out Butter Baron's Healing Solve. Shout out Loved by Hollis Ozone Oil. Shout out Dustin of Sticky Nugs and Load the Soil on Instagram for this exotic leaf cannabis infused extra virgin olive oil. Shout out Primo. Lightning with that lava cake.
Shout out Beeswax
Listen,
candles.
We don't fucking know these people, though. I'm just saying. I'm giving shout outs to people we know.
I know, but I just want to let everyone know that this is good for odor removal. And it's like one of those things that puts out fresh. It gets rid of bacteria.
It somehow cleans the air, actually.
Yeah, it's so cool. So you should get one for your home, too.
This was a cool episode. Thank you for the bravery and courage to come and say that real shit.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Nice. Fucking nice, mate. I appreciate you. Really good conversation. Hey, eat well. Eat things that are good for your heart. Eat things that are good for your bum.
And we'll see you soon.
Okay, I love you. Bye.
Subscribe, please.
Yes. Oh yeah, tell him that stuff.
Smash that subscribe button.
Super cool. Bang it down.
You'd feel so cool if you just gave that tap on that subscribe. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Disciplined stoners. What's your discipline? You a stoner? That's cool. So are we.
I'm high a lot. It's weird to finally say that with pride. I'm high a lot. Being high has helped me with my anxiety. It's helped my social skills. Well, it's helped me feel okay about my shitty social skills. It doesn't make my social skills better, but it sure does make sitting in that awkward moment in a social interaction a lot more bearable. You know, that moment where no one in the group has anything left to say, and you desperately want to yell at all of them, just say something. Being high makes that hilarious and not torture.
Yo. It's Ellevan from Anger Town. This plant just helped me chill out. Found focus. Found confidence. All of a sudden I was productive. Less protective. More progressive. Yeah, we talk about stuff like I'm a next sommelier. But this is about a medicine, baby. We wish everyone a mindful life. It's been a helpful tool for us. And whatever the route to peace, it's each individual's journey. And the more we communicate, maybe we can all help each other out. Love and light. Welcome to Disciplined Stoners Podcast with your host Ellevan.
And my name is Winny.
And we are the gateway drug to mindfulness. And that's Ralph. Bro, what you know about it? Couple levels up when I move and I go.
One day we're gonna do a collage of all the times like a brilliant person just said like it's medicine.
Cannabis is a gift from Mother Earth.
Cannabis helped to heal me. Those natural medicines that we use to help to heal us. And of course, they have this euphoric effect, or can.
It's an alternate natural way of healing. And I just think it's so beneficial, and there's so many good properties to weed.
I mean, that's the only difference in my life is I've added cannabis. The amount I've changed and the way our family has evolved and our relationships with my adult sons and everything, like just all through cannabis it's been amazing.
It's part of my life. Like you said, you really can't separate me and the cannabis plant. I use it medically.
Yes.
I have fibromyalgia, diagnosed with fibro very, very young, and I use cannabis to treat my fibro very effectively.
It was through an event that caused her major anxiety that I got her to take a few puffs.
Yeah.
And it helped.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, from being up here to being able to cope.
You know, we've got naturopathic medicine and natural health products that rely on hundreds of years of traditional use.
Yes.
Which, you know, both cannabis and mushrooms technically fall under.
Yes.
If you can keep it at that sweet spot and it's in a healthy way, I feel like that's
it's medicine.
Yeah, I think
it's medicine.
You have to check in with your life and be like,
medicinal.
I felt like it complemented my personality.
Yeah.
Almost.
Good answer.
It's okay to use cannabis as their medicine. Mm-hmm. They no longer deserve to be in classrooms and hear that they're using drugs and they're bad, when this is medicine that is saving their lives.
Yes.
I mean, I would never put anything on the market that I wouldn't give to my mom or my grandfather.
Those strains are fantastic for pain management, nausea. This helps with pain management.
And I feel fantastic. Like I feel great. Do I attribute it to cannabis and cannabis oil? Absolutely, I do.
Relationship to cannabis right now is beautiful, growing, most probably everlasting.
I think this is medicine. Dude,
120%.
I've got ADD, and I'd use cannabis to help kind of focus me in and kind of turn things off. Like, it very much is medicine.
Was medicinal for me. It was like taking a medicine because that's how it worked.
Having a threesome, look at each other, deep in the eyes. You are my brother, out on the East Coast, we having a threesome. You know that it feels good, I'm getting mixed feelings. I think that I want to touch you more than just between this woman. I don't know what's happening, we having a threesome in Nova Scotia. 3, 2, 1, and that song, good night.
Our hotel room is directly across from BC Place. We got upgraded to the suite. We did. We got upgraded. Appropriately housed. We stopped and got a cannabis drink. Oh, and there's a window, so I'm definitely gonna blaze.
Woo!
That was dope.
Great job.
Whoa. I love how we can always find our way to go places.
Yeah.
That feminist shit was so funny.